Jojin said. Mr. Fu knows my girlfriend? Zhuxi answered quickly. I don't know. It's better not to let my senior know about those messy things so that he won't worry. Fu Nancheng sat in the luxurious box. He didn't know if it was fate, but Jojin and Zhuxi were standing in the luxurious box opposite him. He banged the glass on the table loudly. As soon as Fu Nancheng looked up, he could see the opposite side. His care and intimacy were natural and did not seem fake at all. His handsome, three-dimensional facial features were all tense, and his brows were covered with dark clouds. He had no idea that her charm was so great that she could capture the big boss of CC and fall under her spell. No wonder she was able to get into CC. All the big bosses of CC are her captive. Jojin already felt that Fu Nancheng's gaze was too cold and sharp. At this time, Jojin said, What happened to Mr. Fu? Fu Nancheng looked at Jojin's hand around her shoulder, then looked at Zhuxi, his voice already cold as ice. That's okay. Come, Mr. Zhou, take a seat. Let's talk business first. 2 hours later. Mr. Fu, let's stop here today. Cece and I will go back first. After finally making it to the end, the three of them walked out of Lanting Pavilion. Now Zhuxi felt that Fu Nancheng's gaze had turned into ice, as if he wanted to eat her alive. I'll give you a ride. No, we have something else to do. Let's go too. After saying that, Fu Nancheng ran away. Secretary Song quickly trotted to catch up. Jojin opened the passenger door and Zhuxi got in the car. Inside the car. President, are you going back to the old house or the company today? The driver's window slowly slid down. Fu Nancheng's big hand wearing a valuable watch rested on the steering wheel and glanced at her. Keep up with them. Secretary Song is confused. Yes? After saying that, Secretary Song stepped on the accelerator. A Rolls-Royce Phantom followed behind. It was Fu Nancheng's car. Two world-class luxury cars were chasing each other on the neon-lit street, instantly becoming the most eye-catching scenery. The luxury car stopped at the entrance of the 6-star hotel. Downstairs of the hotel. President, they are here. Hotel? She still wants to follow him? It looks like this. Secretary Song nodded in agreement. Jojin drove himself to the 6-star hotel. Zhuxi and Jojin immediately got off, finally escaping from the gaze of Fu Nancheng. Zhuxi breathed a sigh of relief. At this time, Jojin said, Cece, Zhao Zhao said you need a fake boyfriend. I didn't embarrass you, did I? Of course not. In fact, it is enough to fool netizens. There is no need to be so realistic. Jojin blinked his eyes and said with a smile, Why, you don't want Mr. Fu to misunderstand you? Zhuxi raised her palm-sized face to look at Jojin and exclaimed, I didn't say that. Do you want to come up and sit for a while? I brought you the tea you like. Zhuxi wanted to answer, but a cold voice sounded in her ears. She won't go. Fu Nancheng came. What is he doing, and is he following us? Zhuxi's heart tightened. Now Zhuxi felt that Fu Nancheng's gaze had turned into ice, as if he wanted to eat her alive. Ugh! Fu Nancheng grabbed her slender wrist and pulled her away, but Zhuxi refused. No one expected that Fu Nancheng would do this. What was he thinking? Mr. Zhou, can I borrow your girlfriend for a while? His strong and sharp tone made Jojin frown. Jojin looked at Fu Nancheng, who couldn't be shaken off, and frowned. Mr. Fu, what do you mean? I won't feel at ease unless you explain it clearly. Fu Nancheng saw Jojin's hand on his wrist. Jojin held it. His voice was as cold as ice. Really? Then let me make it clear. Miss Su and I... Fu Nancheng wanted to answer Jojin, but Zhuxi held it down. Zhuxi suddenly looked up. Fu Nancheng! Shut up! I'm going with you. Zhuxi's heart was in turmoil, probably because of the strong sense of pressure from behind him, which made her flustered. Fu Nancheng grabbed her slender wrist and dragged her to the hotel suite. Fu Nancheng, what are you doing? Let go! You're hurting me! He took big strides, and his two long legs wrapped in black trousers cut as sharp as blades exerted fierce force in every step. Zhuxi stumbled behind him and almost fell several times. Ah! Fu Nancheng kicked open the door of the hotel suite and threw her onto the bed. Zhuxi felt dizzy and grabbed his silk sheets with her small hands and tried to get up, but he had already knelt on one knee, pressed her down, and then leaned over to kiss her red lips. He kissed her roughly, almost biting her red lips, deliberately making her uncomfortable and painful. Unlike his usual tenderness, tonight he just wanted to vent. Zhuxi pushed him away forcefully. Fu Nancheng, I am not a toy that you can summon at will. If you keep going crazy like this, our relationship can end at any time. End the relationship? How many days have they been together? Fu Nancheng poked his right cheek with the tip of his tongue and curled his lips in a sinister way. End? We've only been together for a few days? Have you found your next partner? You're so tough. Zhuxi, I don't have the habit of sharing a bed with others. Zhuxi's clear eyes grew colder by the second. Huh, what a coincidence. I don't like sharing a bed with others. You and that Su Qianru. Fu Nancheng's handsome face was so gloomy that cold water could almost drip out of it, and the veins on his palms were throbbing. Fu Nancheng's narrow eyes suddenly turned red. I have never touched that Su Qianru, but you and Zhou Jin were hugging each other in front of me.
Zhou Jin and I have nothing. She was about to push him away, but Fu Nancheng's tall and straight body did not move at all. Do you think I'm a fool? Believe it or not, I am not your girlfriend, let alone your wife. I have no obligation to prove anything to you. Fu Nancheng froze, his narrow, deep, dark red eyes suddenly becoming unpredictable. He was so overwhelmed that he forgot the rules he set. Yes, they don't talk about feelings, they just enjoy happiness. He crossed the line tonight. When he saw her with another man, something was amiss. Fu Nancheng narrowed his eyes and controlled his temper. While he was busy controlling his emotions, he forcibly took off Zhuxi's clothes, but Zhuxi rebelled and slapped him. Fu Nancheng, you are really crazy.
Zhuxi stood up immediately. She slammed the door and immediately went out. You made me your secret lover, and you had an ambiguous relationship with Su Qianru. Now you come to me to ask for punishment. What have you been doing? At this time, a melodious cell phone ringtone rang. It's Zhou Jin calling. Cece, are you okay? Brother, what can happen to me? I'm out now, don't worry. That's good. Actually, I found out something when I returned to China this time. Fu Nancheng has someone he likes in the capital. Upon hearing that, Zhuxi froze. She was silent for a few seconds. The news must be correct. Everyone in the imperial capital knows it. Cece, you can have fun, but don't get caught up in it. Remember to protect yourself. Zhuxi was shaking slightly, as if something sharp had stabbed her chest, making it difficult for her to breathe. I understand. Thank you, brother. Zhuxi's eyes were fixed on the dim cell phone. She didn't know that he had a woman. It turned out that there was a woman hidden in his heart. At this moment, she sent his a WeChat message. Fu Nancheng, I don't want to follow you anymore. Let's end it. Next episode preview. Zhuxi looked up and saw her stepfather Li Chong coming. Zhuxi had no expression, her eyes were cold. I have no money. If you keep pestering me, I will call the police. It's up to you. Li Chong smiled evilly. Seeing that Zhuxi was adamant, Li Chong was not in a hurry. He immediately opened his voice and shouted outside CC. Everyone, please judge for yourself. My daughter, whom I raised, is unwilling to take care of me in my old age now that she has moved to a big city. The commotion here attracted many people and everyone gathered around. What happened? Li Chong squeezed out 2 tears and said sadly, my health has not been good in the past 2 years. I was with a terminal illness. My daughter doesn't want me anymore. What's the point of living?